Hey guys, welcome to my, sorry, welcome to this video. A video I was puzzling over and over if I should make this video because, again, we live in a world where if you have a certain opinion on something, especially something that is entertainment related, especially nowadays, it's just, oh, it's crazy. And a lot of people on my channel, my viewers, are saying Jay, stop being so political about everything and stuff. And I try not to. I don't want to all the time because that's not my life. My life isn't politics. That's not it. I love movies and shows and video games and all sorts of that entertainment, but when a lot of entertainment now, movies, video games, television shows, when they're all getting political, I have to address it because they got political. I have to talk about it. They want us to talk about it, and they want us to agree with everything they're saying, but they don't want us to talk about it if we don't fully agree with what they're saying. So it's fine. It's interesting like that. Like when you talk about the social commentary on certain movies and television shows, and you don't agree with it, they say like people tell you to shut up, like stop talking about this, stop getting political. But when you agree with it, you're like, great commentary. Sorry, but I don't know. It's complicated, but I wanted to talk just very briefly on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I just finished it on Netflix. A little late to the game. I think it just ended a little bit ago. Actually, it ended a while ago. But Brooklyn Nine-Nine was always a fun cop show, comedy sitcom. Like it was harmless. Like it had a good cast. I loved Jesse Eisenberg and Andre Bauer and Terry Crews, and they were all really funny in the show. And I enjoyed like the characters like Jake and Holt and Terry and Hitchcock and Skelly were always like the funniest characters. There were some annoying characters. I liked Santiago. Rosa was pretty good too, but I didn't like all the characters in the show, like Boyle and other people. And the show wasn't perfect. It wasn't always funny. Storylines didn't always make sense, but it was like a fun show. I enjoyed watching. Like it was a fun, harmless show with some pretty good jokes, and it did tackle personal things and social commentary. It even talked about police corruption and stuff, but it never like beat you over the head with it, and it never dowered the show, and it never changed the tone of the show. The final season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, how the whole show ends, is just depressing, and just I didn't like it. And I know a lot of people loved it, and that's fine. Like if you loved the final season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you loved the issues they talked about, and you thought it was a great season and a great ending. That's great. That's your opinion. That's fine. I personally didn't enjoy it though. Like I thought it was so like dour. I think if they wanted to talk about like the George Floyd stuff, they could have. They just like have a dialogue, have a conversation. But no, they talk about how cops are awful, and the entire season is just like anti-police, and it's a show about police officers, so it's really weird, and I just didn't like it, and I'm like, I don't know what they're doing here, and and they paint like every police officer is bad except for the people at the 9-9, and I'm like, okay, it's super weird, and just and then like Rosa quitting instead of trying to make a difference in the police force, she just becomes a PI and just fucks off, and like and then even Jake, who was always inspired to be a police officer, at the end of the show he quits being a police officer to be a stay-at-home dad, and I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that. Just like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like a proper ending to Jake Peralta's story. It just, I don't know, it was weird. And even the stuff they did with Holtz and his husband Kevin, I didn't like that. Like, yes, they get back together, but how they broke up was a little weird. I'm like, the movie got so heavy in its politics. It just wasn't a pleasant watch. Sorry, and I didn't have fun with it, and it talks so much about how police is like a bad thing, because a lot of people have attacked Brooklyn Nine-Nine because they called it like police propaganda, like it was like pro police officers. And like, there's nothing wrong with being pro police officers. Just because there are bad police officers doesn't mean there's not good police officers either. And I have family members who are police officers, so I know there's a lot of great cops out there. So watching a show that was just so like anti-police, and it was really negative, and I did not enjoy it. And it got super political, and it was very like a lot of things that some things they were saying were like really spot on, but some other things they were saying like that's not fully accurate. And I wanted the show to have more of a dialogue and a conversation. If they were going to bring politics, like heavy politics, into Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I wish they had more dialogue and conversations instead of just, this is the message, deal with it, don't agree with it, fuck you, you're wrong. Like, I didn't like it. I didn't like the political aspects. And again, Brooklyn Nine-Nine has talked political stuff, but never this heavy, and it never beat you over the head with it, and it never took the comedic tone away. The political aspects of this final season completely took the comedic tone away from the show. Even when they did comedy, it just wasn't working. I don't know. I thought it was a shitty final season, and a show that made it kind of like, oh, it's fun to be a police officer and the wacky things police officers do. The show just ends on this like huge negativity on police officers. It almost like completely gave a middle finger to its own show and to its fandom, and some people didn't see it like that. They just thought it was a great goodbye to the characters, but I saw it like they were just like, the whole show was like, oh, these are fun police officers, and they all love their job, and then in the end they're like, you know what, police officers kind of suck. Like, that's the way I interpreted it, and I hated this final season. And season 7 wasn't great either, but it was never like this heavy into politics, and just it got political. Didn't like the ending, and guys, and that's the ending of the show, because they had to end the show because so many people were just so against the show now because of all the protests going on. They don't want to make shows about cops anymore. Like, weird as that is, but okay. It's an interesting world we live in now. I know there are bad police officers out there, but not all cops are bad. And Brooklyn Nine-Nine was a very funny show, and they didn't have to end it this dour and this negative, especially on the police force. And I know, again, there's bad and there's corruption in the police force. I understand that. There is bad things in the police, and in police in general, but like, they're not this bad. Like, I don't know. Just very disappointed. Didn't like it, and this is what happens when you put politics in your show. If you just keep politics out of your television shows and movies and just stay neutral, like, it's good for everybody, and like it provides good escapism. Like, the world we live in is very dour and depressing, and a lot of bad shit's happening, and this has been happening for like a year or two, and we need funny shows and great entertainment to, like, you know, take our mind off all this bad shit. We don't need constant reminder, like, oh, this is happening, this is happening. I don't know, just shows need to find that neutral ground. Movies too, so. Brooklyn Nine-Nine was a disappointment. Final season, for me. So in the comment section below, please tell me, do you agree with my opinions? If not, that's okay. Tell me your thoughts and opinions on Brooklyn Nine-Nine as a whole and the final season. Give me thoughts and opinions. Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and join the dark side.